girls and boys, my name is Violet the Flower Fairy and welcome to Audley End Enchanted craft making. Today we're going to make these lovely painted eggs. Come on, let's get started. We're going to start by letting you know what you're going to need, just to make sure you've got everything. We've got some paints and some water. The birds has ever so kindly given me some eggs. You might have some in your refrigerator. We've got some paintbrushes, a pair of scissors and an egg carton. Right, let's get started. I'm going to start by taking my brush and I'm going to dip it in the water and I'm going to get my paint on my brush. I'm using watercolour here because it dries quite quickly. We need to get enough paint on the brush so that it is quite thick so it will cover the egg. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of our egg and work our way down to the bottom, giving the top a chance to dry first. You need to keep loading your brush with paint so that it stays quite thick, so you get a nice good colour coverage. I found a couple of these old bottle tops and they make really good little things to rest your egg on. So you can keep painting down the egg and spinning it so you get all the way round. Make sure you keep getting lots of paint on your brush. Isn't this lovely? Can you hear the birds singing? So keep just turning your egg and painting it. Make sure you get lots of paint on there. Oh look, we've got a little insect friend come to join in. Hello. They're attracted by the lovely flowers. Lovely. So as you can see, it's starting to dry quite quickly. That is the joy of using watercolour paints. But we're just going to pop that over there for now. We're going to let that dry. Just let it dry nicely and then we're going to turn it over. So I'm just going to wash my brush now. Right, so now my brush is all clean. I'm going to pop that back in there. And I'm going to start my little flower egg cup. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our egg box. We're going to get a pair of scissors. You might need to get Mummy and Daddy's help on this one, boys and girls. Scissors can be quite sharp. And we're just going to cut out one of the little egg resting bits. Then I'm just going to trim up the edges a little bit so that they're not too scraggly. We'd like some nice round flower petals on our flowers, I think. Lovely. Just bits over there. Okay. So the first thing we need to do with our egg cup is we're going to paint the whole thing just with a coat of water. This allows the paint to soak in and absorb into each other so we get that lovely colour fade effect. Keep going all the way round, get it nice and wet, let it absorb all the way into the cardboard. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start painting our flower. So I think I'm going to make a blue flower today. So I've got a nice pink one there. And get lots of paint on our brush again. And we're just going to go all the way round the top of our egg cup. Like that. We're going to go up into the petals. Just like that. And can you see the way the paint is starting to spread through the cardboard there? That's going to give us our nice fade effect. Just going to keep following the rim of our egg cup all the way round. Make sure you get all those little nooks and crannies in there. This is fun, isn't it? Now, on our little lines, if you've got them on our egg box, if not, you can just sort of make up where the lines go using your imagination. We can just spread that down the lines a little bit so that you get a little bit of a fade at different lengths. Lovely. Then I'm going to go onto the top and just do the rim as well. We'll do the inside in a moment. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to wash our brush again. Oh, look at that lovely water change. It's like magic, isn't it? So now we're going to get some more yellow. I'm just going to let that soak into the cardboard in between our blue. A little bit down and go all the way around your egg cup. Right, so now we're going to get our next colour. I'm going to get a bit of green, so it's like the bud on the bottom of the flower. The petals bloom out of it. We're just going to get our green and we're going to dab that all the way round the bottom. And can you see it's mixing with the yellow and making a lovely fade again, and all the colours fade into one another. It's magical, isn't it? I'm going to put a little bit of green all over the bottom, so even the bottom looks beautiful as well. Lovely. Can you see that, girls and boys? Isn't that lovely with all its fading colours going into it? The green into the yellow into the blue. Magical. We're just going to pop that over there to dry for a little while. Right, so just make sure our hands are nice and clean before we touch our egg again, because sometimes the paint can come off onto our egg. I'm going to start painting a pattern on our egg now. So we're just going to start by doing some blobs of paint in a circle in the middle, and we're going to turn our egg cup around and do another little circle of blobs. Do you see it almost makes a little flower pattern there? So we're going to do that all the way round our egg. It doesn't matter if it's a bit messy and patchy, because that creates the petal shapes. Keep working our way around the egg, making sure we've got lots of paint on our brush. We're starting to come round to meet our other flowers there, so if we just have a look at that distance and make sure we can fit two more in so we don't get too quite close together, and then you get a nice even spread of flowers. Right, so now we're going to go a little bit above, and in line with our little gaps in between our flowers, we're going to do a slightly smaller little dab of paint. And then going round to the next gap, doing another little circle of dabs. And keep moving our egg round and doing our little dabs. Lovely, look at that. So it might just look like lots of little splodges at the moment, but I promise when we've finished it's going to look absolutely magical. Right, so now we're going to get a little bit more paint, because we like to keep it a little bit thick but also not runny. And we're going to do another layer of flowers in the gaps, slightly smaller again. This is so much fun, girls and boys. I could sit here and do it all day. A little bit more paint on my brush. And we're going to go round again, but with slightly smaller flowers. Right, so I'm going to pop that over there now. Just going to let that dry. Wash our brush. Look at that magical water change again. It's one of my favourite bits, you know. Lovely. Okay, we're going to go back to our lovely egg cup now. We're going to do a very similar thing, but on the inside. Want it all nice and wet, all the water to absorb into that cardboard. It's going to make that lovely faded effect like we made on the outside. Because it's a flower, I think we're going to start in the bottom with a nice yellow, as if it's the centre of a flower. And then we're going to just pop all that yellow in the bottom. Right, then we're going to start working this yellow up the side walls of our egg cup. Lovely, look at that vibrant yellow inside there. It's like sunshine, isn't it? So now we've got lots of yellow on the inside there. Just going to wash our brush. We're going to go back to our blue that we used on the outside. And we're going to start painting the rim of the cup. Can you see it starting to absorb into the cardboard again like it did on the outside? And then, like we did on the outside, we're going to follow the lines of our egg cups down into the flower. So it creates that fade effect. It's naturally uneven. I'm just going to get a darker blue so it gives the very edge of our flower petals a dark rim. Can you see that, girls and boys? It looks magical, doesn't it? Look at that, girls and boys. Isn't that lovely? It's just like a flower. We're going to pop that over there now and let that dry. We're going to go back to our egg. Now I'm going to go with some blue to make the centre of our flowers on here now. You need to get the paint quite wet but still quite thick at the same time, so that it's nicely on the end of the brush. And we're just going to choose our flowers at the moment that are dry, so I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to just gently do a little splodge in the centre of our flowers there. We can just work our way round the egg cup, doing little dots in the centre of our flowers. That lovely, boys and girls. They really look like flowers now. They've got little centres. Right, I think we've got all our centres filled in. Lovely. So we're just going to pop that over there for a moment and let that dry. I'm going to go back to our yellow and orange egg now. And I'm going to flip it the other way around, making sure it's all dry. I'm going to pop it the other way up. I'm going to go back to our nice yellow colour. We're just going to do a little coat all over. Lovely. Right, now we've done that, we're going to go back with our orange again now. Got to be quite careful at the moment to avoid our wet paint, but we can do a row of flowers. We're going to do our little ring of splodges again, and we're going to keep working our way around the egg. All the way around. This is starting to look really fabulous, isn't it? Very Eastery indeed. As we work our way up the egg, our flowers are going to get smaller and smaller, like they did on the top. You can do it like this, or you can do it like that, or you can do it any way you like. You can let your imaginations go crazy, because I'd really like to see all of your crafts and your different patterns. Getting smaller and smaller as we work our way up to the top of the egg. Don't worry if it looks a little bit messy now, that's just the character of the flower petals. We're nearly at the top of our egg now. Lovely! We can start popping in the centres of our flowers again. Remember, just in the ones that are dry, so that it doesn't make the colour bleed into each other. You see how this little dot just transforms it into a flower? It's gone from a little messy cow patch into a magical flower. Right, all those other ones are still a bit wet for us to do that now. And I quite like this blue spots on the inside of our little flower here. So it's like the little bit in the centre of a flower. Just keep dotting our little ladybird spots inside our little egg cup. They're like little stars, aren't they? Right, you can see we can take one of our little eggs and it just fits beautifully inside our little flower egg cup there. What do you think? Isn't that wonderful? So we're just going to keep blobbing our little spots in the centre of our flowers. Just keep doing our lovely little ladybird spots, and there is our last one. Well done everybody for listening so well, and don't forget to come back on Monday for your free printable activity sheet, and again on Wednesday for more storytelling, and then on Friday we'll have another craft. Next week we're making toilet roll trains, so make sure you save your toilet rolls and your plastic bottle tops. Can't wait to see you there everybody. Bye bye.